who just came off a 5-setter victory against Omaha last night here in Baxter Arena. And we got a great one coming up for you regarding standings. Austin and Omaha both entered last night 4-7, and Austin is one step closer in those rankings. Atlanta can clinch #1 seed tonight by beating Austin, and if Houston loses to Omaha. Otherwise, Atlanta needs only 2 wins in the final 3 matches to clinch that #1 seed. And as we welcome you into Baxter Arena alongside former Olympian Kevin Wong, I'm Shelby Coppage. Kevin, Atlanta dominant in almost every category in the league. Austin, though, coming off with a lot of momentum from last night. What do you expect from this match?
Yeah, Atlanta's so confident. They come in rested and ready. On the other side, don't count out this Austin team. This team has a lot of athleticism and bench depth for days.
Part of that depth, Kat Bell, their opposite, had 17 kills. Season high last night. What do you expect from her?
Kat Bell came in last night and changed the match. She did it offensively from the back row. She brought electricity. She brought a little bit of attitude and spunk, and more than anything, touched the emotion of the team with a lot of contagious energy. Across the net, Kelsey Cook, she has been the most consistent star throughout the season. She does it from behind the service line. When things are going wrong, steps in out of system and makes things a little bit better. The defense has been superb, leading, and don't try to avoid that big block in the front row because she will dive in.
And now, Kevin, take us through our Adidas scouting report.
Austin's done a new offense under Chris McGowan, the new coach. They're shifting to a 5-1, and it's worked with a lot of success. And then the confrontation tonight, really interesting. Atlanta's league-leading serve versus the sometimes struggling passing game of this Austin Love team.
Maddie Bugg's gonna start us out tonight, and we're off. Right to Logan Eggleston. First out to Kat Bell, feeling confident from last night. Big back row attack absorbed by Bug. Cook with the roll. There's that Austin block we saw a lot last night. Danielle Coutinho, first point of the match. And here is your Atlanta lineup. Again, Kelsey Cook, Kevin talked about how lethal she's been, not only offensively, but defensively as well. Leading the league in digs, #1 and #2 in aces. She just does it all for her team. Danielle Coutinho, been a force on the opposite for her team. Tessa Grubbs still currently out, so that's something that Paulo Coco's really worked around in his lineup. Some conversation from Lloyd in the down ref. Bug with her second serve. Oh, what a swing and a hawk. And then back with the pancake. Lloyd with the free ball. Back out to Bell. What we saw yesterday from Kat Bell. And look at our Austin lineup. A lot of highs yesterday. Carly Lloyd with her season high in assists, team high in assists. Logan Eggleston at 20 points. Chiaka, 24 points, season high for her. Great match for Austin last night.
It's going to be interesting early on to see some of the energy levels of this Austin team, right? You play 5 sets, now you're going back-to-back in less than 24 hours.
That's what Austin wants to see, run through Chiaka Ubagu.
Yeah, and early on the passing has been very steady, and when the passing goes, McCage will give you offense in the middle. Ubagu will give you offense in the middle.
Mackenzie Adams been working on passing a lot this season. Kat Bell, Red Coutinho. Yalashiva finds that corner spot.
So Maddie Bug's been running a 5-1 for Atlanta for the last 4 matches, but tonight I think we're going to see a little bit more of the 6-2 where Rachel Fairbanks will go her 3 rotations as well.
Fairbanks going to spark for her team this season. Adams tipping. Cadbell not able to get that pancake. Adams has so many shots in her arsenal.
I love her game, right? I think she's been a real revelation for a lot of people this year. The passing, you talked about it, much improved, really steadying out, and then the offense has an amazing arm swing.
Jarvis stepping in for the second touch. Jammed by Coutinho. And a hawk stuffed straight down by Coutinho.
Coutinho up there at the #1 position as opposite blockers. Right behind her is Maddie Skinner, and you can just see her get the footwork out there and then the press over the net. That is a scary block because Jimerson's no slouch as well.
No slouch being #1 in blocks. Good matchup against Obagu. Off speed from Atlanta. Cadbell finding those high hands. Adams, no one about to touch that swing.
The pride of UTSA, Hall of Famer, played basketball and volleyball there. Got to throw a shout out to basketball here in March Madness. Multi-sport star.
Oh, Carly Lloyd calling her own number, but kept alive by Atlanta's defense. Obagu making the slide look easy.
Atlanta on D, they've been leading the league all season long. Even the middle blockers can step in and play defense.
Adams again with the tip, finding that open space.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And you can see she's got that Cadbell matchup in the back row, and then she's going over the shorter blocker in the front and in front of the taller defender in the back. That's a good combo.
Out to Eggleston. What a swing off the hands.
That was a vicious swing, right? She's got such the easygoing temperament off the court, but you get her out here on the court and she's got a little nasty, a little scary out there.
Eggleston not looking phased by playing the whole match last night. Tia Jimerson up at the front. Connection not able to be made. Austin's thankful for that one. For Austin, when you had a match 5-setter against Omaha and you've already given that much energy, how do you come in and you're able to match that again?
I think you just got to go back to routine, right? You got to go with your post game, cool down. You got to make sure you're hydrating and feeling up for the next day, all the prehab and rehab.
Chris McGowan was quick to go to that up rough and say that was out. Jimerson not able to make that ball fall in.
McGowan's done a good job, right? So many times it's hard to come in, and he was in here within 4 days of getting the text, coaching his first match, and he's still made some big moves.
McGowan stuck with his depth last night, did not put his starters back in and trusted his players he chose.
Good look at Chris McGowan. He's got the blue blood of coaching lineage. His father, Carl McGowan, one of the legends, and Chris McGowan showing you he's got his own accolades as well. 2013 Coach of the Year.
Top spin from Adams. McCage on the slide, finding those hands from Jimerson.
Last season, she struggled quite a bit with injuries playing professionally, but come in here and she's been so consistent throughout the year. She's done it with the block, and I think a lot of people really impressed more so with the offense.
What do you think makes her offense so consistent?
Vision of the block, she's really fluid, and then that connection with the setter has been on point.
Tied ball from Eggleston, but she's able to handle it. Then you see that communication with her and Carly Lloyd.
And I think you see the evolution of outside hitters, specifically how do they improve the play? How do they better the ball on bad sets that might not be perfect? I think that that's where you see the maturity.
Cook, a name we'll be saying a lot tonight. She said that she fangirled when she found out Paulo Coco on your screen was going to be her coach, and now watching them in the huddle, he's usually talking to her and wants to know what she thinks about what's going on in the match. Tight. Eggleston over.
Yeah, you called it tight. Almost looked like Eggleston beat the ball to the spot. Did a really good angle there.
Eggleston.
That's not one of those plays that you can challenge though. So got to grin and bear it.
Off the net from Eggleston's serve. Maddie Bug, setter dump, making that look easy.
It's a rematch of a match played 2 weeks ago. Atlanta won 3-1, and in that match, Austin actually had more digs, passed better than this Atlanta team. Those are two of their hallmarks.
Coutinho straight through a triple block from Austin.
I think one of the biggest factors in the improvement of this team in pink over the course of the year has been Coutinho. Started off the year a little slower, a little uncertain of herself, but a lot of confidence these days.
And Atlanta's that team where the players can come out, not have the best first start of the first set, and it doesn't matter. Mackenzie Adams is used to being picked on in serve receive, and by end of the first set, she's passing dimes. McCage with the service line. Pinoy, I'm saying that name a lot tonight too. Kill from Cook, and Pinoy is not a person you want to serve. Atlanta's going to stay in system, setting up Cook for an easy kill. Atlanta only 2 ahead here in this first set.
Ali, you're doing your hair so beautifully. Does that mean you forgive me?
I'll try. I mean, you were only, what was it, 2 hours late?
About 1 and 45 minutes.
It's okay. I've already told Dad. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh my gosh, you didn't tell him.
You said forgive you. You didn't say don't tell anyone. So, pick one.
Okay, baby, let's go. You're done.
It's time to hoop anyways.
Yeah, not yet. I love you. Together.
Wow, what a rally. This is the kind of volleyball that we expect to see and love. It's a ripper. What a finish.
League One Volleyball is presented by Adidas and by the Love Finals, where the first League One Volleyball champion will be crowned. Join us April 10th, 11th, and 13th in Louisville. Tickets are now on sale. Go to LOVBfinals.com for more details.
If I was coached, I did not care if I was coached by a female or a male, but now I love that more female coaches are coaching. I love that more female athletes are seen on commercials. More female athletes are getting TV time and publicity. I love that, and I see that as a big difference in that. And I love that females are getting the opportunity to do that.
Great words from Austin assistant Stacy Sikora, who, Kevin, you described as a one-of-a-kind person.
Yeah, 3-time Olympian, silver medal in Beijing, and actually had a female head coach there, Long Ping.
He had a huge impact in the libero role, professional sports, and now in college as well. Proud Aggie, stuck in Austin now. She doesn't mind it. Deep serve from the best server in the league, Kelsey Cook at the line. Logan Eggleston's talked about this, that her ticket to the Olympics is her passing. So what do you think she's concentrating on most in passing tonight?
I think the hardest thing with this Mikasa ball, right, it has a lot of motion, so you got to get an early read on it. Is it going short where I need to shuffle forward? Is it going back where I need to start opening up my hips? All those little adjustments. And then when you look through the net and you see number 23 in pink and you know she's the #1 server, sometimes you got to quiet the thoughts too, the stinking thinking that comes into play before the serve even happens.
Take a look at our ace leaders. Micah Hancock, a mean topspin serve. You'll see that later tonight. Kelsey Cook right behind her.
She's got back-to-back ones too, right? So I'm not sure that this is quite updated yet, but coming in hot on the heels. These are updated.
Micah Hancock, Jordan Larson face-off. That's going to be a good one. Micah Hancock, big lefty, who is a pretty good setter as well. Logan Eggleston making that adjustment in real time. Big coverage from Atlanta. Adams going on with the all-out swing. Too much power on the left.
And you can see, even when they don't get a block, that block of Obagu as well as Capel, it will play mind games with you.
Obagu, her block's like the wind. You can feel it. Shorter set, and Adams, she's so good at making those adjustments, but it's going to be Austin's ball.
Right, and the adjustment she's got to make now is with Carly Lloyd. She's one of the more physical setters out there, but she's not as big as Kat Bell, has a little more space to move it.
Right now, it seems like Austin doesn't really have that energy they had yesterday. Again, we talked about had a lot of momentum. Might be hard to match that back-to-back matches, but not too far behind from Atlanta. Magda back at the line.
Great shot. Talked to the coaching staff from this Austin team, and they said the one thing that they've been really working a lot on is the connection between Carly Lloyd and Anna Hawk. Hawk growing up in Italy, playing a lot at ball in Italy, and just a little bit faster than Carly Lloyd's setting right now.
Back to Coutinho. Obagu taking the first ball. And Eggleston almost at the 10-foot line, still making production happen.
Yeah, great comment and observation by you. She takes a step back on this approach. It is so hard to do, right? She turns around, and then she'll take the step back 5 feet away to where the apex of the ball is. So impressive.
Straight through the block from Adams, also clipping Jarvis while she's at it.
Spent some time actually paying it forward. Coached as an assistant coach at the program she played at this past year.
How was that experience?
Must be really rewarding.
Off the hands. Back row attack from Atlanta coming in hot.
You know, in my mind, I just have this picture of Kelsey Cook taking care of all the little things, and then she comes in here and takes care of all the big things too. Is there anything that Kelsey Cook can't do?
Not really. She's leading almost every category, at least in the top 5. High ball from Pinoy, tipped over Kat Bell with the defense. Not able to make production happen, but Kat Bell, definition of staying in the play.
Yeah, and Kat Bell got in front of it, right? A couple of dinks went down in front of her. This time she's actually charging the net for that play, and they're saying Jimerson went over the net, but once again, you can't challenge that one.
Kat Bell looked like she wished she could. Jimerson, she is not the player you can overpass to.
She's been so good, right? #1 blocker. #5 hitting percentage, having the kind of season where people are saying, I remember, I told you that Jimerson was going to be this good, right? There's a lot of people out there who are claiming that they knew that Jimerson was going to be this good. She's been a surprise to many of us.
Jimerson grew up playing for A5 in Georgia. Example of the impact players that have been on their youth. Oh, straight down by Jimerson.
She's got so much length. Perfect timing, presses way over the net. There is no light. No room to move. That is impressive.
It's like if a coach is teaching his team how to block, they would show a clip of Jimerson, just textbook blocks. Looks like she's doing a crunch in the air. What makes her mechanics so good?
Yeah, I think the timing there. I think the physicality, she's got a lot of length. I think there is still a little bit of the improvements of the things that go on before the serve happens, right? Like the things that make Obagu so special. I think Jimerson, just 26 years old. She's got a long time to figure out all the little intricacies.
What are the little things you're talking about for Obagu that make her so special?
She's going to look at what point in the set it is. What point in the match is it? Is it the red zone where they're going to set the stars? Is it maybe a point where they're going to go to people who need to get in a rhythm? She's going to think about during the play, where's the pass? What are the two most popular options for this setter? All the tendencies.
She chooses the slide on this one. High ball from Adams. It's going to be a free ball. And Eggleston coming in with the all-out swing. Big up from Jarvis, right on Lloyd's head. Now we see Hardiman taking her first swing, trying to get those high hands. And Hardiman's a player that's also had some breakout matches this season. One was in Atlanta.
Yeah, big jumper, big arm swing. And it's interesting, Paula Coco seeing how well things are going for Atlanta, so not going to the 6-2, keeping it with the 5-1 because it's working.
Oh, Cadbell, all reaction. So athletic. But that double, you can only double if you keep it on your side. Atlanta getting the ball.
Long pause between plays. I don't know if Zoe Jarvis knows anything about long pauses. She is an action player, so fast on the trigger.
Jarvis probably a professional gymnast if she wanted to be. And this is where you start to feel Atlanta really taking over, already 2 points away from set point.
And Chris McGowan looking down at the bench. O'Neal may get some action. I'm sure that Maddie Skinner may think about getting some playing time as well.
And just, it felt like 5 minutes ago where Austin was only 3 points behind Atlanta. Atlanta is that team that they'll creep up on you in that red zone. Short to O'Neal, and it's tight. That's going to be Austin's ball. Coutinho, too aggressive in that back row attack.
Stepping on the line with the over.
You saw Kat Bell step on the line a few times too yesterday. Just powerful approaches from these opposites. Out to Adams. Free ball to Kat Bell. Oh, Molly McCage with the slide. You had to know that ball was going to be a kill.
Early in the season, we saw this connection was struggling a little bit, but you know, you get the reps in, you get the timing. No doubt about that handoff.
Shot out to Adams. Eggleston denied.
One of the things I've been most impressed of in the league so far is how coordinated, how multi-skilled our middle blockers have been, right? O'Neal, perfect example. Tough serve, steps into the angle, perfect dig.
And you also have to see these love middles go for the digs too. They want to get those touches in the back row.
The setting in transition, they'll do it all. You're seeing that 6-2 dub sub here towards the end of the set.
Rachel Fairbanks coming in, most decorated setter in Pitt history. Cadbell, what an up. Adams looking for the line, not able to keep that ball in. And just like that, it's Atlanta who needs that timeout and break. Just shows you how volleyball truly is a game of momentum.
See Carly Lloyd there on the right side of your screen, just a born leader. 2009, she was the best player in the NCAA, AVCA Player of the Year at Cal.
And one of the moms in the league too, playing alongside her best friend Julianne Fawcett, also another mom in the league. It's amazing how these players are not only mothers at home, but the top athletes in not just the nation, but the world.
Yeah, longtime friend said that was one of the most special things about this season is getting to be right there on the court, in the practice gym, kids playing together.
Out of system from Atlanta. Not sure how that didn't get called. Tia Jimerson, but right to Kat Bell with the save. Atlanta just out of system right now, and Carly Lloyd and McCage will punish them.
And Rachel Fairbanks, you can see, hasn't played in a few matches. The connections aren't quite there. You go in at the end of a set. All those years at Pitt, she never had to sit on the bench for a set, 80% of a set and come in. It's a tough job. And they bring back Maddie Bug now and Catino.
Fairbanks learned a lot from Dan Fisher. Back row, not able to get a solid approach off that ball. Bug calling her own number. Tipped right in the middle. What an up from Eggleston off her arm. Oh, talk about high hands. It doesn't get better than that from Kelsey Cook.
You just don't see that very often. The back row pipe and bigs, people sitting high hands. You'll see that in the front row. You'll see that in a lot of tight plays, but 8 feet off the net, still having that touch, pretty special.
Set point for Atlanta. Absorbed by Eggleston. Tia Jimerson absolutely denies that offense from Austin. Atlanta taking the first set. And just like that, Atlanta finishes the red zone here in Omaha. First set taking off from Austin. Atlanta playing for that first seed spot to clinch it. League One Volleyball has partnered with Tiffany & Co. on a handcrafted trophy, which the winning team will receive at the Love Finals, taking place on April 13th at the Yum Center in Louisville. Tiffany has created some of the most iconic trophies in sport, and now League One Volleyball is joining that prestigious list. The Love Championship Trophy will be on display at select matches in each pro city in the lead-up to the finals, where fans can get their picture taken with it. That is a beautiful trophy, and again, Atlanta tonight really looking to secure that first seed, and Jimerson trying to help our team to get there.
Yeah, Jimerson has been so good, not just tonight, all season long. Up high in the stat columns. #1 blocker as a middle. Take a look at that. #5 in hitting percentage, making good decisions. Stays out of the net, stays patient, and doesn't quit on the play. And you see that swagger that's starting to build. That is a confident smile.
Kind of like a little Sour Patch. She's sweet in the end.
Oh, yeah. Where are you going? Like the sour gummy worms.
She's
right?
mean at the net, then turns around, and then all of a sudden she's sweet. Kelsey Cook at the line. Error taken in the first point from Austin. Cat Bell off the net. Cat staying at the outside. Another swing for her. Eggleston opposite. McCage turning the ball in.
You know, this rally shows you the genius of Atlanta's defense. They are so good in the back row. They test your patience, right? Because you take good swing after good swing, the ball doesn't go down, and after a while, it just gets really frustrating.
That is an ace you don't see often, right in the seam as Jarvis.
Cook playing with a lightness. And you can tell it during the timeouts, during the breaks, at the end of play, she's the leader. She's the alpha dog on this team.
McCage showing confidence, going right for Pia Pinoy, getting the kill.
Interesting stat. McCage had the all-time career block record at Texas until Chaco Bagu broke it. And now they're playing together.
Bagu, one of the only middles at Texas who did not redshirt. Pancake from Jarvis, and Eggleston with the down ball. Completely absorbed by Lloyd.
Oh, wow.
Leah Hardiman just flying in the air.
Wow, you know, it looked like Atlanta was going up with the height of the jump of Hardiman, but meanwhile, she was swinging down the line. Grip it and rip it.
Out of system for Atlanta. Pinoy not able to give Coutinho a solid second touch. Eggleston going deep, too much power. That's 2 missed serves already for Austin in the first set. Missed serves that can really be the energy sucker sometimes as well.
Absolutely.
Eggleston making up for it with a 3-option pass. And Cat Bell not afraid of Tia Jimerson right in front of her.
Just teeing off on the angle is Cat Bell. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that block on the left side shifting over a little bit. Maddie Bug, such a cerebral setter.
Lloyd keeping it alive. Oh, this might be a challenge. It looked like it might have hit Pinoy's legs before the ball went down. Nope, not gonna be challenged though.
Yeah, I would never doubt someone like Pinoy and her knowledge of the court, her presence, because she can make that dig if it goes in, and you can see, gotta know when to lay off.
Back to Bell, one-on-one, gets the hit.
Hard angle earlier for most of the set, and that time going high hands down the line, showing you she's got some variety. Beautiful set from Carly Lloyd all the way out to the pin.
Hardiman and O'Neal saying there was no touch, but staying in the play, and Lloyd gets tooled.
And the problem is, even if you don't think you touched this, they've done a lot of studies with the FIVB where they've gone through slow motion cams, and it's always just crawling over the net, grabbing a piece of your forearm and going back over.
Paulo Coco is the coach that will let you know what he's thinking. Gets pretty animated on the sidelines.
Talking to the crowd a little bit, talking to his friends. Here's that look of it. See the very end of it.
It didn't look like it touched O'Neal's hands. What do you think?
I think it kind of gets that forearm right there. It just kind of crawls over and just gets a little. This will be the angle that you'll be able to see. Is there contact there? Yeah. See, it always happens. Because you feel the net going into your arm, but at the same time, above it, that ball's going into your forearm at the same time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, especially in that camera angle.
Who thinks there was a touch on the block?
All the players always looking up at the Jumbotron during the challenges, seeing what the crowd sees, waiting for an answer. Look how high Tia Jimerson gets over the net.
Hawkeye system so good. Calls the back lines, calls the foot faults, touches at the net.
Once again, they can use multiple angles at the same time that are timed together so they can take a look. Once again, this was made.
I don't know, this one, it looks a little bit more like it just kind of goes around the world on the net.
It stays on the net for a while.
So hard to see.
Also, Tia Jimerson keeping her fist closed during that hit.
That is interesting.
Something you really don't see often. I'm not sure I've ever noticed her do that before. And it's Atlanta's ball. Jimerson with the actual hammer kill.
Little fisticuffs
There you go.
from the coaches and from the middle blockers.
Adams with the top spin. Atlanta trying to build a little run off that initial call.
The judge overturning her own call. She thought that Carly Lloyd was in the back row, but Carly Lloyd in the front row. So big advantage to Austin because they were at a big disadvantage there.
Back row from Bell. Just misses it wide.
And Austin just struggling a little bit in the consistency, right? And I get it. It's hard to be patient when this Atlanta team is digging everything.
Atlanta, number 2 in the league in digs. What a pass from Jarvis. Big swing from Cook, but denied by Carly Lloyd.
There's certain of your teammates where after they make a big block, they turn into a tank. Carly Lloyd's one of those. Get out of the way. She's on the warpath.
Carly Lloyd, season high with 5 blocks last night against Omaha. Taking that here in Atlanta. Back row from Coutinho, and O'Neal getting in on the block party.
You know, and what you're seeing too is some tough serves set it up. This team is so good blocking even without a tough serve. You start putting in the jump serves, the dives. This is a scary team. There's another tough serve.
Coutinho keeping it alive, the whole team following her, and it's going to be a free ball right to Jarvis. One-on-one, Logan Eggleston says, I don't think so.
Oh, I love the cat bell celebration at the end. She's going flying with the energy powered by the Eggleston block.
Top spin by Hardiman right into the net. Talking about that cat ball energy. And that was the story last night. Obagu said that the reason we won, the biggest thing was that energy Cat brought on the court. She got in our face when we needed it. She was that spirit when we needed it. Definitely the X factor in the win against Omaha. Jarvis helping out Eggleston. Big dig from the slide. Jarvis is ready. Lloyd again, a block machine.
And that time with the read, right? She actually hangs and swats it back. Cat Bell. The interesting thing is we were giving the player of the match last night to Chiako Obagu, and she said, no, no, no. Cat Bell deserves it because she turned the match around.
Cat Bell had 13 kills on the season going into last night and had 17 alone in the match last night. She deserved it. Hardiman saving that ball. Maddie Bug checking out her arsenal. Off speed from Coutinho.
At times, she's the most dominant player on the court, right? Has all the shots, wicked arm swing, big reach. Really hard to stop. This is the chance, right? You really get the feeling that Atlanta's not coming out full guns a-blazing here in the second set, and Austin bringing the energy, bringing the block. If they can continue to put serving pressure on, they'll definitely set up the block.
Jarvis saving this, followed by Lloyd, and Jarvis ready for the third touch, and it's Atlanta's point. All-out hustle, though, from Jarvis. Nothing new on that. Now Cook, number 2 in aces. Austin wants to get out of this rotation as quick as they can. McCage denied at the front.
First time we're calling Yahashleva's number. Hard to believe, just 25 years old, young, up-and-coming middle blocker, hitting over 400 for the season.
Yahashleva with the touch. Coutinho, definition of getting those high hands.
That is the prototypical opposite swing.
Coutinho channeling her in-ear Aganu here in the second set. Don't go anywhere. There's plenty more opposite kills when we get back. Atlanta leading Austin 12-10 in that second set, but Austin really bringing the block party.
Yeah, that's been the storyline for this second set. They've been putting some pressure from the service line and then finishing points with the big blocks at the net, and it's been the people you expect, like Eggleston, but also Carly Lloyd leading the charge, making some really good reads and big pushes over the net.
Austin had 20 blocks last night against Omaha, almost a full set in blocks, while Omaha only had 11. Like you said, Carly Lloyd really stepping up, had 5 last night. Obagu had 9.
Wow.
Really couldn't be stopped, the front row defense. Leading the league in blocks per set. Austin really stepping up that part of their game as of late. Off from Kat Bell. Kind of a roll hybrid from Adams. It's just a little too powerful. And we saw this that first set. Austin not too far behind from Atlanta, but Atlanta's that team that could really take off around 15 points.
So good, right? The discipline. You want to shuffle to where your left foot is on that left line, and then anything that's outside of that foot going to be out of bounds.
Back to the basics. Foot on the line. Magda to Eggleston. Kat Bell getting the high tool.
How good has Jimerson been this year? Amazing. Out of the University of Ohio.
Coutinho trying to find that line, but just a little too wide.
Right, you think about some of these athletes. You got UT San Antonio for Mackenzie Adams. You got Jimerson, University of Ohio. Hardiman from Coastal Carolina. Those are not the programs you would think are putting out the powerhouses.
Yeah, Southland Conference, Sun Belt Conference, but made it here to the pros. Absorbed by Lloyd. Big block again from Tia Jimerson.
Yeah, there's some scary combos of blockers, right? Texas has got the Kat Bell, Obagu combo, but across the net, Jimerson and Coutinho just as scary.
Coutinho at the line. That means Maddie Bug is up with Jimerson this rotation. Tight to Lloyd. Back row attack. Eggleston, a tight second ball, but Hardiman handles it. Ooh, just too powerful.
A good set, right? Eggleston from way out. I can't believe Hardiman hurt vertical, right? That she's getting up over the top of a really big block. Listed at 5'10". Helped her team in Italy last year go from the D2 to the D1. Was there a little bit of a twitch there?
Doesn't look like Jimerson's finger moves.
Doesn't. No, and the ball keeps on traveling with that same trajectory. 5'10", though, hitting high hands.
You would think she would have tipped that ball, but Jimerson going for that huge swing. Biggest vertical. Another chance from Lloyd. Jimerson gets her redemption.
I mean, it is crazy. It's like all of a sudden they wheeled out a trampoline on the outside for Hardiman.
That's a really good description of Hardiman's vertical. Back to Jimerson on the slide. Cut off by Jarvis. Hardiman trying to find the corner, too deep.
She's got the right idea, just need to calibrate it a little bit less. A little lower on the swing.
Big topspin from Adams. Tia Jimerson saving that. Asia O'Neal does not care, though. Huge block from her.
You know, Asia O'Neal hasn't played a ton this year, but when she's gotten chances last night and tonight, has done really good things. How athletic is that Jimerson play? That's a middle blocker right there. Laying it out.
Coutinho with the big, huge swing.
They just pass so well, right? So every play, you've got 3, 4, if you count the set, or 5 weapons that you have to deal with.
Looks like almost a float hit.
Yeah, no topspin on that ball at all.
Jarvis dodging that one.
I love the energy, the confidence she's brought towards the latter part of the season. So much growth, and I think this league has offered a lot of options and opportunities for liberos across all 6 teams.
Some of the best liberos in the world here at Love. Pinoy, one of my favorites to watch, captain of the national Thailand team. Atlanta able to get Austin out of system.
Yeah, you know, you talk about Pinoy, you talk about Kojima, who's from Japan, Thailand, Japan. You know, a lot of players have said, like, liberos are not treated great overseas, right? They won't waste roster spots on them. You only get so many foreigners to come in. Here at Love, we have some of the best defenses because we've treated liberos really, really well.
Kojima, another favorite. Big slide from the cage.
Need some middles too, though.
You always need some good middles. I think McCage will show you that.
And who out there is rooting for Love, Austin?
Bell slowing that ball down. Magda absolutely denying Eggleston.
Best blocker, European Gold League in 2023.
Hardiman got the coverage. Adams with the roll hybrid hit.
Yeah, she sets you up with the high angle, so you move your block over there, and then she's really good at feeling what you're taking and what you're giving away.
You blink, and then Atlanta's at the red zone. They're that team that can just get to 20 so effortlessly. You got to make sure that you don't miss your serves or let them go on runs, especially once Coutinho gets going.
It's been so good, bringing the power game. Thought we might see more 6-2 here tonight, but because she's been so good, because the connection with Maddie Buck so successful, steps out to the outside, nice close. The former middle blocker showing you it's a little bit easier on the right side. Does it from the back row, she does it from the front row, right over the top. Has been a formidable weapon, both offensively and defensively here tonight.
Danielle Coutinho, the All-American from Purdue, member of the U.S. national team, won gold at the 2019 Pan American Volleyball Cup. Third most in Love with points and kills. She is that go-to hitter. Oh, somehow Jarvis keeps us alive. Adams is all over Eggleston.
Yeah, the other interesting story from Coutinho, she's got the Michael Jordan story, which was tried out for volleyball in 8th grade and got cut. So she didn't really play volleyball until she was 15 years old.
Similar to Maddie Skinner, didn't get cut, but didn't start playing until she was 15. That's when you know you're a true inner athlete.
We need a new term, as you see the timeout here for Austin, for the point before the red zone. What's the point before the red zone? Because Atlanta's been impeccable in that zone.
To start thinking on that one. Once Atlanta gets to that red zone, nothing turns off at that point. Again, Atlanta is #1 in kills, points, aces, and assists. They're #2 in blocks and digs. So their defense is almost as good as their offense. They are the actual Goliath of a team in the league.
Yeah, no weaknesses. Absolutely no weaknesses. You never see that. Dominating in nearly every skill category. The ball control, you got the #1 and #2 passers in Robinson Cook and Pinoy.
Atlanta, the top seed, again, can clinch #1 by beating Austin. And if Houston loses tonight against Omaha, Atlanta has only lost 3 matches this year. One was their opening match, which I'm sure they did not forget. Been playing with fire ever since. Austin just out of system right now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, if you think about the preseason rankings, a lot of people were not giving Atlanta their full due because I think they didn't know how good Adams was. They didn't know how good Jimerson was going to be. Hashlava, another athlete who's really come a long way. And when you start having all these younger athletes who are having breakout seasons, I give some credit to Paulo Coco and the work he's been doing, the Brazilian Hall of Famer.
Paulo Coco out of Brazil, assistant coach, Brazil national team since 2003. Gives very clear guidance to his team, especially in huddles. Molly McCage, one-on-one.
Here in set number 2, it is 19-23.
Has to be a good feeling for Chris McGowan when Paulo Coco calls a timeout against your team.
Yeah, but you're still looking at the scoreboard and you're chasing by 4 points. It's tough. It's tough. This is a team when I look back on my playing career, you go to your partner, you go to your team and say like, hey, they can't keep playing this good, right? Just weather the storm. Except Atlanta has kept on playing this good all season long.
Also number 1 in pass efficiency and good pass percentage, so they're just almost impossible to get out of system on the first touch.
I want to say, as I talked to Canvas, the majority of my friends who are volleyball aficionados before the season, a lot of them had Atlanta ranked towards the bottom of the preseason standings. They were wrong.
Just tell Adams and Cook that. They'll get you to number 1. Power swing from Logan Eggleston at the back row. Up from Lloyd. Back to Hardiman. Straight down from Magda.
So good. The hitting, the blocking. Tonight's match, these are the 2 best middle blocker tandems in the league.
Hashlava owns the Washington State Pac-12 and NCAA record with 769 career blocks, showing that here. But McCage overcomes the new block at the front.
You know, the red zone actually tonight, Atlanta's been okay in. It's like, I'm going to call it the pink zone, right? For Atlanta, the pink zone before the red zone. That's where Atlanta's made their big pushes.
New term, the pink zone, and now it's set point for Atlanta. And it's all Mackenzie Adams. Adams putting the nail in the coffin for that second set. Austin was able to hang in for a little bit, but not able to get too deep in that red zone. Again, Atlanta just so consistent across the board from offense to defense, trying to get that sweep in the third set from Atlanta. Make sure you vote for your favorite Love player on and off the court. Love icons highlight players who are helping to grow the sport of volleyball and inspiring the next generations. Go to love.com and make sure you cast your vote by April 1st. Enter the sweepstakes, and one lucky fan and 3 of their besties will be able to attend the Love Finals. Just after that second set, we saw Austin, libero Zoe Jarvis really getting in her teammates' face in that huddle, trying to rally them up.
Yeah, surprising, right? You think one of the younger players out here, just 24 years old, players like Carly Lloyd, who are on the court as well, who goes at 35, lots of experience, and yet, gotta love the spunk. You gotta love the fire. We always say it to the liberos, you're the captain of the backcourt. This time she's taking captaincy of the entire team.
I feel like it's really rare to see a libero who's not that spunky personality.
Yeah.
Coaches really look for that, get their team going.
Yeah, I always say, right, hire a libero for work, for jobs, for business, because you know they've been competing their entire life. You know they got to have fearlessness, hustle.
And to play against Peanut Pinoy, it does not get better than that for Zoe Jarvis tonight. Just playing against legends for a whole season. There's nothing like this experience. Maddie Buck starting out the third set. Julianne Fawcett, new face in the match tonight with the first swing from Austin. Little awkward, Molly McCage making it happen.
Look at the scream from Fawcett. I love it. Comes in, makes a dig, brings some emotion and energy. Austin not quitting, right? They care, they're putting their energy into it. Love that intensity.
Channeling her Cat Bell from Fawcett. Austin needing that spark desperately here in the third set. Katina going off the hands of Fawcett and O'Neal.
There it is. We talked about it earlier. Fawcett playing with her longtime, lifetime friend, Carly Lloyd, on the same court now.
We'll get more into Fawcett's story later in the set. Big up from Cook. And now she gets the back row attack, getting the kill.
Kelsey Robinson-Cook's got some interesting accolades. She was, because of the transfer she made from Tennessee to Nebraska, she's actually a Big Ten and an SEC Player of the Year in her repertoire. That's pretty rare. I don't think there's been too many of those.
Would love to see her family's trophy room of her. Kelsey Robinson-Cook back at the service line. Fawcett looking for those hands, not able to get a touch.
Early season, put up some good numbers, did some big reserve play. She's had a little lighter duty of late.
Covering her own ball, Fawcett not able to keep it in play. Austin trying not to get frustrated. Atlanta coming out with that early momentum. Out to Hardiman. Up by Maddie Skinner. First time in this match so far. In for opposite. Back to Skinner again. Pinoy with the set. Big up from Jarvis. Absorbing that hit from Robinson-Cook, and it's Austin's point.
Such a beautiful rally. Great swings on both sides, great digs on both sides. Once again, Jarvis in the right place. And Eggleston, out of system, has been really good tonight.
Skinner at the service line. Watch out for her D-ball. Pinoy, what a save. That's what Peanut Pinoy does. Catino Another kill again. Even when it looks like an awkward hit, she makes production happen.
Yeah, it's the inside out screwball. O'Neal does a really good job, but the extension of the rally. And at the very end, inside out swing down the line. Really hard to stop.
All power from Skinner, but Magda gets the dig. All timing from Adams on that block.
It's that combo, right? It's the blocking, it's the serving, and the defense. They just put so much stress and pressure on an offense.
Yahashleva again at the service line. Not able to keep it in play from Atlanta, and it was a good pass from Cook, it looked like.
Yeah, you know, so much of the defense we talk about is the movement you do before the contact is made. And if you watch Kelsey Cook, she's never making these huge dives, or very rarely, because she's in the right spot. It's just hit in her lap. Makes it look so easy.
Big topspin from Hardiman. Eggleston off the net. Too powerful.
She looks to the net and asks Coutinho, hey, did you touch it? And Coutinho gave her the Dikembe Mutombo. Finger wag, did not.
Eggleston said, okay, I know now. Coutinho at the service line. What does Eggleston need to do to adjust that swing?
I think it's patience, right? I think it's just not being afraid to hit it into the hands when the situation's not perfect. Sometimes just trying to force a little bit.
And Maddie Skinner, there she is.
Skinner is a winner. 3 national championships, 1 in Kentucky, 2 more at UT Austin. Look, I think they called her over the line. Step on the line.
These refs do not miss a football at the 10-foot line. We've seen that. Ooh, Lloyd denied by Jimerson. There's those hands you were looking for from Eggleston.
You know, you watch this offense, and you got to give a lot of credit to Maddie Bug, the setter, right? She's someone who didn't get a lot of playing time last year. For Imoco, they were the Italian and European champions, but she was mostly in a reserve role, and over the course of this year has gotten more and more confident running a really nice offense.
Overpass, Tia Jimerson handles it, but what an up from Jarvis. Kelsey Robinson Cook getting the point.
Her mastery, right? It's just in all the different skills. So impressive. She just waits, doesn't push first, pushes last, and wins the point.
Robinson Cook showing that connection she has with Bug. Must be kind of easy when you live together, though. That helps.
And played together last year in Italy.
Adams, top spin right into the net. Something you don't see too often from her.
We'll switch now as well. Sage Kaha'aina Torres coming in for this Austin team.
Jimerson not threatened by the block at all. And just like that, Atlanta is up in a run past Austin. Don't go anywhere. Atlanta trying to sweep Austin here in Omaha.
Ali, I'm doing your hair so beautifully. Does that mean you forgive me?
I'll try. I mean, you were only What was it, 2 hours late?
About 1 and 45 minutes.
It's okay. I've already told Dad. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh my gosh, you didn't tell him.
You said forgive you. You didn't say don't tell anyone. So, pick one.
Okay, baby, let's go. You're done.
It's time to hoop anyways.
Yeah, not yet. I love you. So get them.
Wow, what a rally. This is the kind of volleyball that we expect to see and love. It's a ripper. What a finish.
League One Volleyball is presented by Adidas and by the Love Finals, where the first League One Volleyball champion will be crowned. Join us April 10th, 11th, and 13th in Louisville. Tickets are now on sale. Go to LOVBfinals.com for more details. Love Atlanta outside Kelsey Robinson Cook getting Defensive Player of the Week last week and already having herself a night, Kevin.
She could have been the offensive player as well. You see the hitting percentage, the defense off the charts, in the right place, makes the right reads. Take a look at that. No steps, in the seam, makes a read. No steps, finds the seam, puts the ball away at the end of the play. Does it from the back row, also from the front row. That has been a connection. That has been someone that Maddie Bugg has really been able to lean on in good situations and in tough ones as well.
And Cook gets rewarded for those digs often. She'll often get set back row after she makes a big dig. Tia Jimerson. Bugg able to keep the ball off the floor, but it's a free ball for Austin. And Skinner with the left-handed tip.
It's a combo that we've seen quite a few times in quite a few years in Austin at the University of Texas. Aina Torres to Skinner and her sister Avery.
Almost fast-forwarding that swing from Kelsey Cook.
She's got a whip of an arm, right? It's just so fast and effortless.
She can still swing so hard even when that ball's a little bit behind her. Bugg at the service line. Slowed down by Magda. Big up by Eggleston. McCage not letting that ball cross her. Absorbed by Adams, it's out to Cook.
Oh.
What a dig from Jarvis. And it's stuffed down though. Yahashlava.
You know, they used to tell us when you block, go up and down, just take your area. But what you're seeing throughout is amazing defensive plays, a lot of patience, and then Yahashlava, the real big dive into that angle hit.
Skinner off the hands.
I like this. Aina Torres coming in, and she knows the assignment. Get Maddie Skinner going. She's the lifeblood. She's the fresh arm and legs.
Austin desperately looking to go on a run right now. Out to Coutinho, and it's not going to happen. Coutinho with the kill.
Looking at the passing numbers, and for reception, 76% perfect passes for this Atlanta team. In system, got options, and on the other side, for Austin, number down at 45%. Really, that's the big difference in the game, right?
Chris McGowden said that the key to this weekend is our passing. There's a lot of things to focus on, but we are honing on that passing. And it helps one of the best servers in the league doesn't make her serve past you. Cook does not look worried about it, though. Back to Coutinho, straight down off the hands of Hardiman.
And I think the pass is so significant, right? Because Mackenzie Adams just went in front of Pinoy on this ball. She goes, I got it, don't worry about it. I know you're one of the best passers in the world, but I'm playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Kind of like Kat Bell taking that second ball yesterday all night. Slide, and it's the slide queen again, Asia O'Neal.
I like that, the slide queen. She's the block queen, she's the ace queen. And look at how fluid that is. Like going for a reverse layup.
You'll see plenty of young college volleyball fans with some slide queen signs for her. And again, another missed serve by Austin. Just struggling, but also giving Atlanta some points on a platter. 2 points to the red zone from Atlanta. Austin single digits still in this third set. Not able to find that fire they had last night against Omaha. And again, Atlanta coming in with fresh legs. Now it's Fairbanks running the show for her team. What an up from Pina Pinoy. Another dig from Robinson Cook. She's doing it all defensively. And now it's Gia Day's turn with the kill down the line. You see Paulo Coco, he is that coach that really guides his team. Sometimes coaches step back and sometimes they're really into it, and it's really awesome to watch him and communicate with his team. But now let's check in back to that Adidas scouting report.
Taking a look at that 5-1 for Austin. We've seen a little bit of both there for Austin. For Atlanta, the 5-1's been working really well on the other side. Atlanta putting a lot of pressure while not missing many serves, and Austin, an okay passing night, but nowhere near what the team in pink has set the bar for. They just play such perfect volleyball that it forces you across the net to feel like you got to play perfect. Really hard to do.
Fairbanks taking us out from timeout. And that ball falls in. Devastating ace for Austin. It's Atlanta's point.
Yeah, it was just carrying and carrying and carrying, and then all of a sudden, look at that, no spin, devastating.
Fairbanks back-to-back aces, and she'll say thank you to the net.
And a really different look, right? It's interesting. On that toss, she puts a little bit of top spin on it. Some different looks.
Changing it up in real time. Austin again. Chris McGowan said we are really focusing on our passing right now, and clearly Austin just struggling at it from the first touch. And it takes so much to having success in this league, and you say it takes a village, it really does, and Julianne Fawcett's a reason for that. She has 3 kids, and she said that she grew up in San Diego. Her parents have lived there for decades. Her mom and her stepdad moved their entire life to Austin so she could play League One volleyball. She said she needed help with her kids. She called her mom, upset, said, I cannot do this alone, I need you. She said, we're coming. Her mom and stepdad moved to Austin that week. It's just awesome seeing her alongside Carly Lloyd on the screen and the stories these players have. Fairbanks, one of the younger ones. The Love rookies, a professional. It's up by Cook. What a save from Skinner. It's over the net. Tia Jimerson with the coverage. Logan Eggleston finding that open real estate right down the line.
And a point to Austin. So they have a system that is electronic and tells them in or out. So definitely in.
Asia O'Neal with the deep float right on Adams' platform. Coverage from Skinner. Back row attack, it's up from Pinoy. Gia Day just a little bit wide. Atlanta just 4 points away from sweeping Austin here in Omaha at the Baxter Arena.
And you can see Fairbanks at the end of that play pointing to her own self, saying, hey, I need to go a little bit higher. And you can see that one of the disadvantages of the 6'2" and running two different setters is very different tempos. Bug's a little bit higher, a little bit slower.
What a pass from Adams, popped out for her approach. She's doing it all right there.
Oh, you talked about it, the pass, right? It's almost like a no-look pass. Take a look at that. She's looking at the sideline, passing the perfect play. Got some swag factor, got a lot of confidence as Mackenzie Adams right now. Play on player.
Adams might have the most swag in the league. She gets my vote at least. Tight pass from Eggleston. Tia Jimerson is there. No way it's crossing her.
Fail serve 23-12.
1 point away from match point for Atlanta. Negretti up to serve.
Coming on for Atlanta, number 11, Oni Febu.
Febu now also in at the front. Been excited to see her play.
All-American from Oregon, 2024. And her club coach, Joy Furbringer at Mizuna Long Beach, would be very proud. Perfect form to the outside, closes the seam. That's the way to make your mark when you come into the match.
Match point for Atlanta. And Maddie Skinner does not care what the score says. She's going with that all-out hit.
13-24 match point, number 2.
She is going to be the key for this Austin team over the last 3 weeks of the season.
Sage Kahan Torres getting some life in for her team. She has a long way to go here in this third set. Big up from Jarvis. Free ball for Atlanta. It's back to Gia Day, little off speed. Save from Negretti. Again, back-to-back digs. Too much power from Gia Day.
We're gonna get a challenge.
Paulo Coco going, asked the players, he asked the assistant coaches. They think they saw a touch, and I didn't see it, but I kind of heard it.
It was right through the arm.
Maybe not.
Logan Eggleston, but did she get a touch? On the right thumb, let's see.
Hard to see.
No touch. It'll remain point Austin.
Unsuccessful. We are still at match point here in Omaha. Atlanta looking to sweep, and again, trying to clinch that first seed spot. Houston lost, but Atlanta is now one step closer to that first seed spot.
Flawless performance from the league leader. I don't know if they had any weaknesses here tonight.
Top to bottom, Atlanta does it again. Number 1 in the league in points, kills, aces, and assists. Number 2 in blocks and digs. There is really nothing Atlanta can do wrong. Even their serving is on point. They are the Goliath of League One volleyball. Again, Houston does have an impact if Atlanta can clinch that first seed. Houston has to lose to Omaha. That's going to be a big task. Omaha playing 5-set match against Austin. And now we are joined by Mackenzie Adams, who is the player of the match. We're going to see some highlights from her, a huge match from her. She did it all. Mackenzie Adams, outside hitter. From defense to offense, there was nothing she couldn't do tonight. Again, she's been focusing on her passing, which leads into everything else from her. Mackenzie Adams is our player of the match. So many kills and digs for this player, and now she is joined with Kevin Wong. It's Mackenzie Adams.
You've been named the swaggiest player in the league by the two of us up here. Okay. So much confidence on the hitting, so much confidence on the passing specifically. They went after you all night long, confidence going. What's going on through your mind?
You know, I come into every match knowing that they're probably coming to me for passing. I got two great people next to me with P and Kelsey, so I know that I'm the easy target when it comes to that. As far as everything else, you know, just trusting in my teammates and knowing that no matter what happens out there, we got each other's back and just going after it.
Let's talk about one of your teammates, Kelsey Robinson-Cook. She's a Nebraska Hall of Famer, comes in here, a national champion winner too. Talk about her leadership in this season, tonight, throughout the whole year. Yeah,
it's ongoing and it's awesome. You know, we're very lucky to have her. She's got a lot of experience, you know, on the national team, being an Olympian. So every day with her, we're always learning, you know, and she's just a big part of why we're doing so great and leading us.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Great words from Mackenzie Adams, the player of the match here in Omaha. Now here's an updated look at the standings. Atlanta can clinch the #1 seed if Houston loses to Omaha. Houston has been a spark lately, though. It's going to be a tough one. Otherwise, Atlanta needs any 2 wins in the final 3 matches to clinch the #1 seed. Atlanta has clinched a bye and will finish 1 or 2, but there's still more volleyball. Tonight, Houston versus Omaha. Houston coming in with fresh legs. Omaha had a 5-setter match last night against Austin, taking that W. Going to have some fire under them. Don't go anywhere. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. local. Plenty more volleyball here in Omaha, Nebraska. Baxter Arena. It was a sold-out crowd against Omaha last night, against Austin. We expect a huge crowd again. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. Plenty more volleyball. It's League One volleyball.